Today I found out I was right on track. My now former best friend is dating my dad. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, My Friend Might Be Into My Dad. And guys, this story is all about a gal. She's only 18 years old, just became a legal adult. Her dad's 45. I believe the dad and the mom recently are divorced. And as it turns out, the dad has a new girlfriend. But the gal telling the story in the beginning doesn't quite know who it is. But eventually you're going to see that it turns out to be her friend, her 18-year-old friend. Her 18-year-old friend seduced her dad, and now he's dating her friend. As you can imagine, this is causing a giant problem here. Now, at the end of the day, yes, her friend's an a-hole for doing that to her, and we can't deny that at all. And we can go into all the issues about daddy issues and stuff like that, or secret jealousy of her, just bringing turmoil wherever she goes. But also, the dad's the a-hole, because let's be honest here. Number one, this is her friend. I mean, come on, dude. And two, she's 18. Now, I got no problem men dating younger women, but 18 is a fucking kid. Legal adult, sure, but a kid. In fact, I don't even consider it remotely all right unless she's at least 21. Even 21 nowadays, the maturity level's like, come on. Not much of a preschool, honestly. But anyhow, guys, I want to go through this one here to show you I can't make this shit up, Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, and see how this whole thing unravels and goes from there. Titled, I read that part. She says here, somebody please tell me if I'm just overthinking this. So this is about me. I'm 18 years old and my dad is 45, and my close friend is 18, who I'll be calling Katie in this story. I've known Katie since we were in first grade, as we were in the same school, just a different class. So we didn't start getting close until we were around 14 or 15. Both of my parents knew about her, but when we were kids, I rarely brought her over until around 16, 17, when we started talking a lot. Okay, so at least, obviously the dad didn't know who she was when she was in first grade. Now, most of my friends always have a good relationship with my dad. Nothing special, just kind of as close as you can get to a friend's dad. Never going past friendly conversations and jokes from time to time. Yeah, they probably thought he was hot. The DILF, as some of them call the fathers that they're hot for. Because, I don't know, there's being acquainted with your friend's dad or parents, but then it seems like they chit-chat a little bit more, so he probably is a good-looking guy and they are attracted to him, but nothing went beyond that. Anyway, recently I've been hanging out with Katie a lot more than I ever did, and I invited her to come over to my favorite lake with me and my dad. All was fine until I noticed her acting sort of weird with my dad. You know, when you go swimming and splash your dad in the face and drag him under the water. All that stuff that's normal when it's a dad with their child. But it was her doing all that. I got sort of weirded out, but I tried to brush it off, cause imagining that makes me want to throw up. Yeah, nobody can blame her. No girl wants to imagine her friend hooking up with her dad. And again, they're freaking 18 years old. Later in the day, I noticed they were talking about this one old band my dad listened to when he was our age. And my friend still listens to them. It was quite innocent, but it will come into the picture later. After we got back home and dropped Katie off, my dad didn't say a word about her, so I just let it be. I thought I just had too much on my plate right now, and the stress is making me read into this too much. Well, as I say to the guys, trust your gut. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Then there's red flags here. But a day later, I was on Discord with Katie because we were playing some games together, and when I told her I'm feeling tired and was about to log off, she asked me a question that just put all the worry back into me. She asked, would it be weird if I took your dad to an old band concert? Yes, it'd be weird and highly inappropriate. Take my dad? You're 18, for God's sakes. I just went quiet for a bit, so she repeated the question. To which I said, I do think it's a bit weird for her to be hanging out with my dad like that. Seducing the older guy. There's a term for that. I can't think of it right now. The Lolita? There you go. We're going to go to the lake again tomorrow, so I'll watch for any weird behavior. But I just need to hear some second opinions on this. From some additional background, as far as I'm aware, Katie is bisexual, and she's prior dated this 40-something-year-old woman, who she recently broke up with. Yes, I think it's weird. But she also shows interest in men. Well, there you go. She was having fun, if you will. I don't know if it was dating a 40-year-old woman. What is with the people where this girl's from? 40 years old. She's got mommy or daddy issues here, or home wrecking ones. As for my dad, he had just recently separated from my mom, so he's technically single. Also, my personal theory on why he might be friendly with Katie is I recently lost my closest friend to drugs, and she was like a sister to me, and like a second daughter to my dad. So he might just be filling in the void like I am, but I honestly at a loss here. Filling in the void, that's an interesting way to put it. Thanks in advance for any comments. Now, before I go on to part 2 and 3, like I said, when there's smoke, there's fire. Something's up here. Her gut's telling her something's wrong. Trust it. The old female intuition thing. But if, well, whatever, we know how the story's going to go. He's having a thing with her friend here. That's horrible on his part because that's the daughter's friend. 18 years old, come on, dude. And also the girl there, certainly putting the moves on the dad, seducing and roping him in. Now to part 2. So a little update if anyone is interested. My dad started seeing someone a few weeks ago. I had my suspicions it was Katie, but just prayed my intuition was way off. Today I found out I was right on track. My now former best friend is dating my dad. Well, there you go. Her gut feeling on the whole issue was right. And this is when you nip this in the bud right away and go to your dad. Dad, this is my best friend growing up. She's 18. We cannot have this happen. We cannot have a relationship with you dating my friend here. I get that things are tough because you and mom divorced. You can find other women, but you're not going to be dating my friend. That's just not going to work. I love you, but not happen. We can't have a relationship. And of course, to her friend, fuck off. I honestly wish it was just SCX, but from what I gathered, it's so much more than that. And I don't know how to keep going now. To be completely honest, I just want to end it all. I lost the only parent I trusted along with my closest friend. My mental health was ass to begin with, but this just makes everything so much worse. No, do not end it. Do not end it because there are a couple jackasses there. I don't know if I want to cry, throw up, or just scream until I can't anymore. She keeps texting me trying to justify herself, and I had probably the most uncomfortable conversation with my dad earlier. My stomach hurts and I just want to disappear. Then you need to tell him exactly what you're thinking and feeling here, and if he's a good father, well, clearly his actions show you he's not a very good father, but if he's a good father now, I can make up for that and go from there. You're his daughter, for God's sakes. And as for this so-called friend of yours, she's toast. What do I even do at this point? I can't move to my mom's place. I'm a broke student, so there's no way I can afford an apartment. And Katie was my only friend who lived in my area. I might try to stay with my brother and his girlfriend for a bit, since I can't even face my dad right now. But that is temporary. I don't want to invade their space. At this point, there isn't much keeping me here anymore. I'm so lost. Thank you to anyone who takes the time to read this, and I'm sorry if there's any typos. I'm on my phone and it's kind of laggy. Now, in a minute, I'll get on to part 3 here, but so there you go. Where the smoke, there's fire. Her gut was right. She said she can't go to her mom's. I don't see why that's the issue, but who knows? She's got a brother she can go stay with for a while. Fine, she needs to get away from her dad. But again, she doesn't confront her dad and say, this cannot fly. You're my dad. This was my friend. She's 18. Now, obviously, she flies too much off the handle. I'll push them together. But if he really cares about his daughter, he's not going to do this. And if he's into young girls, well, if he's a good-looking guy, he can obviously get younger women. But 18, come on here, dude. Early 20s, okay, fair enough. Now part 3. It says here, my friend is dating my dad. So it's been about 5 months that they've been together, and I'm officially losing my mind over it. My dad, who's now 48, has completely changed from who I used to know. I actually feel so bad for him. He and my mom have always had a rough relationship, but the finalization of their divorce totally took a toll on him, and I guess he just needed someone. I'm sure he can find others out there. And this guy, yeah, divorce ain't fun for anyone. Sure, but 18-year-old girl? Unfortunately, the one that swooped in just had to be my friend Katie. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, despise her for that. Well, she's a piece of garbage. And she knew exactly what she was doing. I might be just biased, but I think she's also very at fault here. More than my dad. It's pretty clear he didn't groom her in any way, and they didn't really have any sort of relationship before this. And I can see how much she's using him. But again, I might just be clouded with my own judgment of her. They're both assholes. Really, because this is your dad, this is your friend, and she's 18. So on many, many fronts, he's the a-hole here. However, so she, because this is your dad, and you're supposed to be friends. But she just loves the thrill of it. And I'm sure he's buying her things and taking her places and all that. Let's be honest here. I'm sure that's a perk for her. Anyway, I tried to live with it, and I found that I just cannot do that. Every time he leaves me at home alone, my mind just goes to whatever they could be doing and what that bitch must be thinking. They go to escape games, have dinners, go to galleries, go on trips, all the stuff my dad either doesn't do with me anymore or never did. I'm generally so jealous of her. I need my dad, especially since I don't talk to my mother whatsoever, and Katie just took that from me. Not to mention, some time ago, after all the letters and messages she sent to me apologizing, she suddenly sent me a message saying some very nasty things. Like that I'm the problem, I'm a self-centered piece of crap, and I never cared about anybody, and that I'll die alone because I'm just so unlikable. Good Lord. Twisting it around, making you out to be the bad guy here. And unless something's completely off, obviously this girl telling the story is not the bad guy here, and her dad and her so-called friend are. That message made me cry, and I gave my dad an ultimatum. Either he breaks up with her, or he can forget about ever having any relationship with me anymore. And well, they're still together, so it's been a rough at home ever since then. Well, I am not one for ultimatums, and certainly in relationships. Now, this is a daughter-father thing. What you can say is, Dad, instead of giving you an ultimatum, simply saying, Dad, we can't have a relationship. We just can't. This is the girl, my friend for a few years now. She's 18. I love you, Dad, but this is just destroying us, okay? And then going from there. Not the official ultimatum words, but one can say it's an ultimatum, but it's not an ultimatum. But again, this is not a romantic relationship here. But he's the wrong. It's the girl's in the wrong, so I don't blame her here. I just can't stomach the whole situation. I try to spend as much time with my friends and focus on my own life and career. But this is always in the back of my head, and I get reminded of it every night my dad isn't home. Even besides this, my mental health is absolute dog water. I've never heard that before. This does not help whatsoever, and I don't know how to approach it anymore. My dad doesn't listen, and I'm so lost in all this. Thanks to everyone who reads this. I just need a place to vent this because I'm sure all my friends are tired of hearing about this. Well, it's definitely an interesting conversation. Sounds to me that you got to do everything you can to move out. If you said your piece to him and he's not listening and doesn't give a crap, then that says everything, you know. Find a way to move out. Maybe some friends you can move in with. Who knows? I don't know if she's in school. I don't know if she's working full-time, but she just can't stay in that environment. It's a mess. And sooner or later, this thing is going to crumble. Guaranteed. Or this dumbass is going to run out and marry her, and her former friend will become her freaking stepmother. Imagine that scenario. This is some Jerry Springer shit here. But anyhow, I wish her the best. It's an unfortunate situation, but just some people in this world are assholes. But something tells me the dad is going to get burned pretty bad, because this young girl eventually will get bored of it. It'll stop being fun when the thrill is over, the forbidden love, if you will, is done, and the friend just moves on, and the girl telling the story moves on, and it has nothing to do with him. That point will start being boring, and she'll probably break up with him. And then he'll call her, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, I should have known. But what a jackass. You telling me this guy couldn't get other women, even just in their 20s, they're not this girl's friend, but you can't make this stuff up. This is why I named this channel They Did What, because there you go. So I'll see if there's any updates to this. I don't know, but can't make this shit up. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, if you find a good story you'd like to have me cover, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just make sure you put the title, what the thing is about in the, whatever the subject is in the title. Include the link, a little summary at the top, what it's about. That will help me out big time there. Also, any personal stories you may have or articles, you can also send that my way. The more you guys send to me, whether it's a short story or long story, I can just crank these things out left and right between all three channels. And so I appreciate you guys taking the time to send it in. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.